Good afternoon, Prinhounder, Croizo, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, once again on Puzzle Combat. I'm just moving around, I don't even know why. So we've got a new event, a new thing, something new has appeared, and that is the Mechanoid Menace. So we've got Mechanoid Menace, a new event, and a new kind of event, as it's an alliance event. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means in a moment. Firstly, though, we're going to have a quick look. I'm going to have a quick look at the heroes that are available as Mechanoid Menace. So we will start with. There are quite a lot of them. It did take me a little. It does take a little while. I'm afraid this is my second attempt at this video, as my phone rang in the middle of the first one. So Holden. Oop, hang on. Have you seen Holden? He can hold them well. Anyway. Synchronized Strike, 200% damage to all enemies. Cast for nearby allies, get 40%, 6% attack, and increase every time they're hit. Quite a useful booster. 4-star, yeah, I could see him being quite useful. Not bad 4-star purple hero there. Flywheel, 200% damage to target nearby enemies. Caster gets 53% chance to perform a support attack. Yeah, reasonable enough 3-star. If you're going for 3-star reds, he's not too bad. Ridge with his tiny head and huge body. Now, I will note 515% damage to the enemy is phenomenally powerful. That's a really big. That's like 5 tiles slamming into them at once. So it's a big attack. Enemy with highest health, but you can't target it, so it's only going to hit their highest health. They also get damage to their charge. Caster can't gain charge for 2 turns, so it's kind of a one-hit thing, and then he has to stop for a while. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I could see that being pretty dominating in some circumstances. Quattro. 410 damage to the target, which is pretty effective. Becomes unaffected by dodge bonuses, which is, I could see that being quite useful because dodge is heavily irritating, so quite useful on raids. Next special deals extra target against the target's colour, which again I can see being quite useful because purple against purple is weak, so it could be handy, not a bad one. Now Booster, I really like Booster. Really useful. Quite why you would design a robot to be quite so sensual looking, I'm not entirely sure, but there we are, let's not dwell on that. Recovers 280 health for all allies, which is good, really good health boost, and summons a medbot, and the medbot again is quite useful, particularly as they add charge. So yeah, I do like Booster. I think Booster could be a really, really useful hero for anyone lucky enough to get her. Subotai, a bit of a sort of samurai look, which is presumably where the name comes from. Armour for all allies. Armour is always good. Really useful boost in this game. 53% chance to perform a support attack. Very helpful. Yeah, good armour booster, good 4-star. Ox, 405% damage to the target is a big amount of damage, and it reduces the charge of the target, which is actually more useful in many ways, particularly on raids and alliance wars. That could be really, really helpful. Being able to reduce charge is really useful. A bit like Chow for anybody who plays Empires and Puzzles. Could be a really useful targeted attack when you are controlling a raid. Atomo looks a bit like Big Hero 6, and I'm sure that's just coincidental. 240 armour for the caster. So armour boosts are good. Boosts armour for nearby allies. A little bit selfish, he's only boosting it for himself and nearby guys, but there we are. And then deals damage to enemies after 3 turns. Based on the amount of damage taken. That's a bit of an odd one. And I don't know if that counts if he dies. I'm guessing it probably doesn't, but it could be useful anyway. So there we are. Terminus. Now, Terminus is the one. He is the bomb. He is the one I would really want out of all of the heroes in this. Terminus. 4 random fallen allies have 50% chance to be revived with 32% hit points. So basically, he's a reviver, like Senior for this game, Cassini. I don't know if you pronounce the K or not. Also, like Alberich, Mother North, etc., etc. Bringing people back from the dead is a really, really useful skill in life as well as in the game, but it's not a skill I have in life. If a revive fails, he deals 178% damage to a random enemy instead. which again is really useful. So if he doesn't bring somebody back to life, he helps you kill people. Yeah, really useful. Certainly, playing the event, he is a nasty hero to face. So definitely, to me, he is da bomb, so to speak, of the selection. So definitely want to get. Jet Set, 340 damage to target, extra damage against green, which is quite useful. I mean, red tiles would do it anyway, but it's an extra boost. Again, I'm not sure why you would make such a central robot. I mean, why does a robot need such a bosom? Anyway, never mind, let's not dwell on that. Shock, target receives 112 damage whenever they receive a buff for 3 turns. And that's quite useful because there are plenty of buffs in the game. Piston, now I really like Piston as a 3-star. 172 armor for all allies, excellent. And also counterattacks with 145% damage received for 5 turns. Really quite a nice 3-star there. Not so relevant in this game because they don't have the 3-star tournaments, but could be if they ever introduce them, would be handy. Rover, 190 damage to all enemy, 53% chance. Yeah, it's okay. Not amazing, but then it's a 3-star, so what do you expect? Judge, again, no resemblance to any comic book characters who may have a similar name. Yes. 275% damage to target. If he does more damage if they've got armor, and then he armors himself up. Armoring himself up is quite useful, although again a little bit selfish because he only does himself. Tremor, who is basically one of the mob bosses on the story mode. Shattering Warheads, 230 for all enemies. They can't heal and they can't gain armor, or at least as so fast. Yeah, quite useful again. Useful, yeah, mainly against other players, I would guess, on raids and such. Quite a nice hero. Yeah, quite like it as a 5-star. And then that's it. So that's all the event heroes. They're a pretty good bunch, really. There's definitely some good heroes in there. But as I thought mentioned, the one to go for is Terminus. If you get Terminus, then well, congratulations. Looks like a really, really, really good hero. So in terms of the event itself, yeah, unfortunately, like with any event, you can pretty much predict it will be dominated by the alliances you'd expect to dominate it. So the Global Empire, the Uprising, a couple of very strong alliances there at the top. Romaniacs always do very well. I can't pronounce the name of the Russian alliance there. I want to say Bonfi, but I'm guessing that's not right, so I'm sorry about that. War Machine Destroyers, yeah, it's the usual sort of alliances are going to do very well. I'm reasonably confident that my alliance will do pretty well because we're a fairly strong alliance. Alliance scores, etc. Amongst the alliance, you can see who's doing best in your own alliance, which is nice. I suspect this will change a little bit because Juxtaposed Camel there is one of the, undeniably, I think would argue, one of the strongest event players in the game. I would expect him to end up higher than he currently is in our own alliance and in the world. And again, like I say, in the world, you'll see how it goes. So you've got, again, the sort of standard things. It is the downside of all events on this game and Empires and Puzzles is they do tend to be sort of fairly dominated by the same players. Though if you've watched my videos and so on, you'll know how to get a decent score. And it's not just down to how much you spend on the game. There is an element of replaying levels and being skillful and etc. etc. So, for example, now going into Veteran, I've still got a way to go. I haven't been hurrying. It's been a busy couple of days, but I've got a bit of time at the weekend, so I should be able to catch up and push myself onwards. So, you know, I've got a score of 40,000 on the first one on Veteran. I believe I can do better than that, and so I will try. I'm very, very lucky to have Blunderbuss. It was one lucky summon. I couldn't believe it when it happened. As you may know from if you followed me, I am a free player. So to get Blunderbuss is really, really lucky because that is a hero that makes a huge difference. It's worth taking, I would say, if you are doing it, whether you're going for a high score or not, actually, it's worth taking antidotes because, as you can see, all of my heroes are now burning, and like a fool, I forgot to take an antidote. I'll show you on the next video. If you're going for speed, antidotes don't necessarily help until a bit later in the game, but later levels. But at the same time, antidotes are really useful because all of the missions take place in this radioactive wasteland, I think it's called, or something like that. So you do get damage every turn over each turn, which is annoying. So you can see again, this is where Blunderbuss has really come into her own insofar as the tiles have done a lot of damage. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody's dead. Now that took me, what's that? I can't actually read the time because 1 minute 15. It's not the high score I didn't expect it to be. If I play it again, let me swap. I'm not actually using the small charge drinks, so I may as well swap them off. Just get antidotes. I've got tons. They're very useful. All heroes regain 25 hit points and a cure status ailments, so definitely worth taking antidotes on this event, just to make it easy for yourself. Basically, don't make life hard for yourself. Even whatever level you're playing at, or whatever you're doing, antidotes are cheap and an effective way of dealing with the radioactive burn, which kicks in every turn. So you can see my guys are on fire. Oh no, we're on fire! And now they're not. Yeah, so it's a really useful way of dealing with things. Definitely one to take. Oh, they're on fire again. I don't know why it sometimes sort of jumps up and comes up when you get through a level. I never quite understood that. There's something not quite right there, but I can't exactly say why or what or where or anything else. Oh, we're burning again. There we go. And so on and so forth. Just there we are, bum 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 bum, onto the boss wave. It's not going to be an amazing score, but the antidotes, as you can see, will mean my overall health is going to be significantly higher. It's not going to be a score which I would say is one to take to the bank, as it were. You know, I will replay this level again, but it's still a good score, and it does help that I can just get rid of the burning thing with an antidote. And there we go, bomb bomb bomb. The jobs are good, as they say. So there we are. So that's hopefully a useful tip. I mean, that would be my main tip for this event, would be take antidotes. They make a huge difference. You can really make a big difference by taking antidotes. Good luck to everybody on the event. As I say, I'm looking forward to playing it a bit more, and I will have time to get on with that over the next couple of days, because it's the weekend, and I should have the time because I've been busy at work, which has been fun, but not as fun as this. Anyway, do take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe as ever. Tell your friends and your enemies to subscribe as well. And at the same time, may death come swiftly to your enemies. This is Farm Ben wishing everybody all the best. Take care and goodbye.